Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 152.
You faked me out there.
Yeah, I did.
Totally faked me.
I did fake you out. I'm getting used to this. It's pretty good. How's everyone doing? C-Mart on the boards. How you doing this week, my friend? Are you doing pretty well?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yes, I like to hear that. And our good friend Jaipaul Dhaliwal has joined us from Vancouver Cryotherapy. How you doing, my good sir?
Good.
Yeah?
Good. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
I'm pretty happy that you joined us today because you and I have been having great casual talks pre and post podcast. Every time I come out, because Vancouver Cryotherapy is located in Floathouse.
Yeah.
Every time I come out, we have a good chat about this or that, watching like jiu-jitsu matches and fights and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is awesome. Like, dude, you should just come on the show sometime.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, especially after these fights where it's GSP is coming back.
Totally.
Apparently.
Can I push this mic towards you, my friend? I want everyone to hear exactly what you're going to say because I know you have good ideas.
Yeah.
I want them to hear them. Yeah, dude. What did you watch those fights?
I watched those fights.
I watched those fights. I lost my voice watching those fights.
I was there.
I yelled.
It's classic MD form.
I screamed during the GSP Bisping finale during the ground portion.
The ground portion.
I screamed about 36 times. No hyperbole. I screamed, "Fucking bitch! Fucking bitch! Fucking bitch!"
It's honestly better than normal. Normally, it's way more harsh than that.
Usually,
I won't even repeat it.
Sometimes I call people's whole entire existence into question. I'll say things like, "Die for your sins." Die.
Christ.
Die. And everyone's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like,
This is
in
also
public?
like, oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. This is like when the server is bringing you your refill. And
Just
just like, is he okay? And you're like,
Yeah.
no, but yes.
We always watch in private, private viewings. But this card was so epic. I wanted to go try out this new place, and I made friends with one of the guys there. So it was just fucking good. It was like a good spot.
It was a good spot.
Every table had their own private TV at table height. It was fucking awesome. I actually made me rethink how I watch fights.
What is this, a restaurant from the future? What?
It feels like it. Dude, it's so good. So good. I totally recommend it. It's honestly one of those experiences to try. I don't know if I go every time, but it has made me like think about big fights.
Yeah, I don't know if I would run back. It was fine.
It was okay. Service was great though. It was fucking awesome.
It was on. It was definitely attentive.
And I could watch the Habs on the other screen. They were like right across me. I got
How
to watch
dare
the Habs.
you?
Which no one cares about.
How dare you?
Which no one
100% attention on the fights. I get really silent at fights. I just like I go into thinking mode and I'm like,
I love how contrast we are. You came in here today and you're like, it's a little chilly in here. I'm like, this is perfect podcast temperature. Perfect. And now you get quiet at fights and I start, first of all, I examine their whole thing. I'm like, oh, his footwork's silly because his coach has a gambling habit. You know it. I know it. And everyone's like, well, how do you know that? I'm like, I could tell. I could tell. Look at this degenerate footstep.
You're just a shit talker.
I fucking go into it pretty hard.
Let's be honest.
I wonder if that's happened. That's had to happen. Where it's like a coach puts in all this work and he's like, listen, I've been your coach for a long time. Just do me this one solid.
In the third round.
He's like,
Just go down.
Let's be honest.
Go down. Come on.
Come on. Say it back to me. Yeah,
First of all, that is legitimately a conversation that has happened.
for sure. We were watching old
In
Pride fights.
Japan.
Do you remember we were watching old Pride fights and we were trying to determine? We were talking. First of all, we were watching ADCC.
Yeah.
We were watching Huzamar Palhares versus
Andre
dude.
Galvan. And it was just like, it was just
First of all-
I'm like, I didn't know open hand palm slaps were allowed.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not allowed.
They're not.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's
Never
crazy,
mind.
right? Except with the Eddie Bravo Invitational, they're talking about doing it's like what do they call them, amended instead of unified rules like in MMA C-Mart. They have like I don't know the exact word of it. It was amended or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can do palm strikes
Yeah.
from the bone of your, which just hurts, man. Like if you ever watch Boss Rutan fight,
Yeah, that's the specialist. right?
crazy. So you can do that on the ground during jiu-jitsu, but it's no gi, so it's rash guard.
Yeah, it's basically jiu-jitsu with bitch slaps, which is
Which
like
is fucking crazy.
I was talking to Andre when they first Andre Galvan.
Yeah, for our viewers.
I'm gonna drop a name right there.
That's perfect. That's not even. You're just getting people up to speed. I appreciate that.
And when they first announced that, and I'm like, what do you think about it? And he's like, yeah, no, that's how we used to do it in Brazil. I'm like,
Oh my God.
Okay. So it looks like it's going back to old school. Maybe it's like going back to like it. If you saw those like Gracie challenges and stuff like that.
That's how it was, right?
Yeah.
I think Julio, who's Papa Gracie? No, not Hoist, but who's
Hoyler?
Hoyler.
One of the H's.
Yeah.
They're always H's.
Called Eddie Bravo apparently and was like, "Hey, thank you. This is what it's supposed to be."
I don't believe that.
No.
I don't think a Gracie is ever gonna. I don't think a Gracie is ever gonna be like, you know who I should call? I should call Eddie Bravo.
He's like, who's the authority on this, me or him? Let's talk about this. I don't know though. Gracie did allegedly call him though.
Yeah,
and thanked him for.
I'm sure they've called him a bunch of things.
I don't think it was Hoyler.
Yeah.
I think because he beat Hoyler in like 2000.
Eddie Bravo did?
Yeah.
It was early, right?
Yeah. Back when it looked like VHS quality. If you look it up online, it's just like, wow, what is this? And he catches him in a triangle.
Yeah.
Which is like, wow, you triangled to Gracie.
Fucking crazy, man.
That's their fucking logo.
Which is that's so crazy. Just like Dan Henderson's logo is him doing that last final flying strike against Michael Bisping in UFC 100.
Oh, really?
You ever see? Can you pull up Dan Henderson's logo really quick?
Dan Henderson has a logo?
Do you know his logo? It's like a silhouette of a guy jumping through the air. That's him. There it is, right there. That's it, right there. Pull that up for our viewers.
That's annoying though with the flag.
No, that's him. Come on.
That's
you gotta
him.
Believe.
That's him.
Hold on, we gotta.
That's him. You show that.
Also, have you seen Dan Henderson's wife? Oh my God.
Is she a smoke show?
Yeah.
Let's pull her up right after this.
I will not do that.
Go. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll right there. Good for you, Dan Henderson.
Is that her in the middle?
No, that's him punching someone. Nope, that's not. No. There we go.
Go there.
Is that her?
Is that her? I don't know if that's her.
Could this be a random fan?
Just type in Dan Henderson wife.
I'm not gonna.
That's the exact one. Do it right now. Fucking Dan Henderson.
I will say that I have a ton of respect for Henderson after that particular fight.
Yeah.
I
throw
I
on
actually
his
like.
wife so we can say.
I like Bisping now, but
yeah,
he needed to get got.
He
needed to get got in that
Dude,
fight.
he got so got in that. I've never seen a crowd pop
that was
hard
great.
on that.
That was wonderful.
Pull up Dan Henderson's wife so we can see what Jay's talking about really quick.
I just remember. Watch her just be like horrible, and I'm remembering this
Well,
wrong.
it doesn't really matter.
Life.
She's just
L
a person.
wife.
Dan Henderson, L wife.
Damn, Dan Henderson.
He's doing very well for himself.
Yeah, come on. You're just winning.
Do you think she had breast reduction surgery? Because that is.
I don't-
Look at that second photo there.
Jesus Christ, Dan
Jesus
Henderson.
Christ, Dan Henderson.
Good for you.
Man, no wonder this guy has the vitality to he fought.
Oh, that wasn't on screen, by
late
the
into
way.
his life. Look at that. She's very good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just easy there, Chris Martin over there.
Don't.
You know.
Don't.
What color are your clothes? White, clearly. Just
black.
Knighting over here.
We got lots of.
You're like,
clothes.
White.
guys,
I
guys,
get it.
please
Okay.
please don't objectify Dan Henderson's wife, who is almost clearly an objectified object already. Like, how dare you guys? Oh, sorry that we pointed out what was
I'm
obvious.
sorry your wife is hot.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen, speaking of UFC fighters' wives,
Okay.
who fought this weekend?
Number of guys. Fuck, the fights this weekend were so good. That second round
Dustin
and the main
Poirier
event.
versus
Anthony Pettis.
Anthony Pettis. So
That was
Anthony,
a fucking good fight.
that was a, ooh.
Holy shit, that was a good
But
fight.
before that fight started, Anthony Pettis is walking into the ring, and they pan over to his brother, and I'm
Sergio.
assuming his wife. And I was like, even if he loses, he wins.
Yeah. Oh, he already wins already because he has the most impressive fucking highlight kick of all time.
Oh yeah, come on, Showtime.
Oh,
it's just a
unbelievable.
Mortal Kombat kick.
Dude, it's a total
It's
marvel.
just
You know what's
I
great?
like the story about that too, where like he's like, yeah, we like fucked around with it,
Yeah.
like as an idea, and like you kind of try it on, if you just
when you're in the club.
but then like
you just bust
you
it
don't
out.
pull that shit out like in prime time, but you're just like, I feel it right now.
the balls of like, and you even see who did you do it to?
Benson Henderson.
Henderson.
Yeah,
And
another excellent fighter.
the
Dude,
reason that Henderson
prime
catches
Henderson.
it on the chin is just like, what the fuck is? And then it just
Yeah. Wow, he had no idea it was even coming. I don't think anyone had any idea it was
No.
coming.
I don't think he knew it was coming. He was like, I see it. Let's do it.
You know what's great though is that fight was already one of the best fucking fights ever at that weight class ever. Just period. It was one of the best fucking fights ever. And then you see the fight. It goes down and Henderson and Pettis had this like fucking crazy fight. And then the rematch went together. And when they rematched, Pettis just rolls up and fucking triangles him within like 30 seconds. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think the kick, to be honest, was more of
coming?
a disorienting kick. It wasn't like a power move per
Because he
se.
pops right back up. That's the thing in the highlight.
Yeah.
It looks
Like,
like
it's
It
great.
looks like he gets his
Show us that here quick.
that mop knocked right off his face.
Fuck you, Zuffa. Do not pull us off.
Oh!
My God.
But
Oh,
like,
no.
Yeah, but like the follow-up punch is and he's in a compromised position.
Even if he lost that fight, he won.
Yeah, it looks so devastating.
back of the head.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Did you guys see Conor run into the ring?
Yeah.
Oh my-
Well, that's
oh
what
my
happens when you go to
God.
Bellator.
Let's. You want to throw that on real quick, Stuart?
Sure.
You see that there's guerrilla footage of it. So basically, Mark Goddard is a referee, and as a referee, you just take work where it comes. So different.
First of all,
Well, it's
I-
it's a commission, so it's
yeah,
like MMA.
Can we
It's
just-
an umbrella. It's not the commission just for the UFC.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So if there's like
the
a fight
first
going
thing that
on-
comes up, I try to type Connor in, and it's like Conor
Wow.
McGregor
Bellator
Bellator incident.
Oh yeah.
Well, if I'm Bellator, I'm
Okay.
like, yes.
So let's react
is
to
this?
this.
Invite him
So-
to every fight now.
It's the top one, bro. It's the top one.
Is
yeah,
it really?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Fuck
Let
off.
this fucking go off. But hey, so here's what happens is like, basically Mark Goddard. I read his statement today. This is what I gathered from it. Mark Goddard was like, okay, so there's two fighters in the ring. One of the fighters is affiliated with Conor McGregor. Okay, Conor's been standing up the whole time, and as the crowd noise escalated towards the end of the round, there was a flurry of strikes. Now, the ref, Mark Goddard, was unable to hear the clappers, and like he couldn't hear like the last 10 count or whatever. So he thought this fight was like just being stopped for the round. So Goddard runs in to like stop the round, whereas like Conor's guy thinks he has the win.
Oh.
So
Oh, it
Conor,
wasn't even over.
right. It was like stopped at 4:59 or something like that. So Goddard's trying to separate the fighters, which looks like he's picking up a down fighter. And it looks like he's trying to separate the fighters. Now, this is what I'm reading, okay? So we should
Okay.
watch it here in just 1 second. But he looks like he's trying to separate the fighters. McGregor storms in the ring, and it's like, you're
Like an
fucking
animal.
trying to fucking kill someone in there, fuck you. And like, really mad. One, that he thinks his fighter is being robbed of a win. And then two, that he's like,
Hold on.
he's like keeping this fighter like from stopping. Basically, he wants to pull the fighter back in.
I thought that Conor McGregor was celebrating the win.
He's supposed to be celebrated, but also feeling at the same time that like
Yeah.
it was a it looks like Goddard's restarting the fight, which he is, and McGregor doesn't realize it wasn't a stoppage. So it's all this
Oh, wow.
comedy.
I didn't
bears.
look into that.
Connor jumps into the ring and he pulls
Yeah,
guard.
press
basically.
play. We watch it there. Yeah,
Like,
sure.
look at this. I mean, it's a solid guard pull.
So this is it. Play the whole thing. That's okay.
There you go.
So Connor's incident, like, so he goes down. So it looks like
So
Goddard.
look, that's a stoppage, isn't it?
Wait, he thought it
there
was
we go.
the end.
And guard pull, beautiful triangle.
Yeah.
Walk up the
I
triangle.
love it.
No?
Wait, so
No.
Goddard
Fights Conor McGregor on the side.
Goddard's trying to pull them apart. Now, Goddard in his statement today said, he's like, I don't care if Conor was ever in the ring. He's like, I don't give a fuck who's in the ring if it's a win. If it's a win, who gives a shit? He's
Conor
like,
McGregor
no,
just
this is
bowls
just-
over this
I'm
guy.
trying to restart the fight, and Conor thinks the fight's over, but it's not. So this is like
So was it not over?
it was not over.
So did they go to a round?
But wait, here's the thing. This is what Goddard said in his statement today. He's like, bottom line, though, MMA unified rules. When I step between two fighters, the fight's over. I can't restart that. He's like,
No.
my mistake was thinking that the round was... The only reason he could do that is if the round was over. So him doing this, end of the fight, right there. What you just saw,
Yeah.
that end of the fight. But also, in addition to that, Mark Goddard thought that the fight was intermission. So he can interfere. He can get between them during the end of a round. So Goddard thinks he's stopping the round because he can't hear the bell. Conor thinks the fight's over. Goddard's trying to restart
Some
the fight.
WWE
It's
shit,
so
to
dumb.
be honest.
It's so dumb, but this is like got more looks on Bellator than anything.
At the end of the day, like
It's
The
stupid,
ref's
though,
got
I
a
know.
job to do, and you got two combatants in there.
I don't know what Connor's thinking.
And he's just jumping. You can't do that. The
I
guy,
love
like,
Connor,
You don't
Fuck,
push
man.
the ref. I don't care what. Even if you're fighting, you don't push the
Sure.
ref. There's no circumstances where that's
yeah,
acceptable.
It's like
That's bullshit.
They let you into the ring after, but like even at the end of the clip, like they're bumping into a downed fighter.
Yeah.
yeah,
What
he's
are
like
you
bowling him
doing?
over. Like,
What
Yeah.
are you doing?
have some respect for the
That's
sport
stupid.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, I love McGregor, but I don't know. That's a bad look. I think.
Like he's just like, it's not a soccer match. Come on.
No,
man.
yeah.
He's like, who's fucking made more money for this sport though? Me
Yeah,
and Mark Goddard.
sure.
Fuck you. I fucking have all the money.
Okay, cool. He's
Okay,
a
you're
ref.
Gonna debate.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
I wanna
there's
hear
got to
Jay-
be some
No, no, no.
integrity for the refs.
I want
right?
to hear Jay debate Conor McGregor right now. He's like, fuck, I've made the fucking most money. I could touch who I want. What the fuck are you gonna do? Who the fuck is this guy? And then you say,
Yeah, no.
yeah, no.
Just not
Jay, Jay lays it out. That should be a gift right
Like,
there.
I don't-
Jay just turned his head. No.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous, man. Come on. Like, at the end of the day, like, publicity, showmanship, blah, blah, blah. All that aside, right?
Yeah.
It's a competitive sport, and you got the rules in there to protect fighters.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Mutually, yeah.
Oh, everyone
Exactly.
involved.
Yeah, no, you're totally right about that.
And so if you got people rushing the ring at the end of it, it's like, okay, what if Buddy has brain damage and
Yeah.
you're knocking him around? Like,
No
who's
kidding.
who's the guy for number one? It's the ref that stops the fight, and then the doctors come in.
That, Well, hey, just to be clear,
Period.
that's what Conor said in his apology today on
Oh,
social
he
media.
apologized? I didn't see that.
He did apologize. He said he feels terrible for his actions this weekend. However, and then he explained the points. That
However,
I
that's
talked
never
about.
good.
Well, he
Comma,
also,
but.
his
Oh,
picture on Instagram with the caption apology was also him like beaming ear to ear. So I don't know like how
Come
sincere
on,
that
man.
is, but
Has
Mark
Conor
Goddard's
ever
statement's really
apologized
good.
to
I'm
anybody?
sure he'll never do anything
double
like
champ.
that again.
The double champ doesn't apologize for anyone.
Double champ.
Anyway.
Wait until when
Yeah,
GSP
defend
is
one of those
triple
titles,
champ,
please.
Which I will.
wait.
I'm gonna start.
Oh my
I'm gonna start
God.
laying down this theory.
Triple champ.
He's not gonna do any of that crap. Come on, have some respect.
First of all, GSP, we have to lay this out right now. GSP is without a doubt the greatest of all time now. There's no question. He used to be, without a question, the greatest of all time welterweight. But I would say Fedor's to me is still like the greatest fucking of all time. But like, there's a lot of question marks that have come up recently with a lot of the stuff about pride. And
Oh, what? Yeah.
I mean, so
I'm
like,
sure no one was juicing in pride.
Did you see the this came out recently? Did you see the part of the contract where it says they can do drugs? Did you see that?
They said they don't test for
They,
drugs.
specifically though, and
That's
Andros, whatever the fuck. How do you say
One of them.
Yeah.
I'm not up on my
Totally.
Roy
It
text.
specifically says though, C-Mart. It says right in it that barring any
Bit of coke is fine.
yeah, a bit of coke, a little bit of andro.
Vitamins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look-
if you're listening to this, I'm making quotation marks. Vitamins.
I'm just throwing out an allegedly here, but that's why some of those fighters
Allegedly.
had a nice HGH gut going there late into their. It's like, what's going on
No,
there?
Bob Sapp was all natural. That was creatine.
Bobby Sapp.
Bob Sapp is a tragedy
That's
normally, though.
3 weeks in a row Bob Sapp mentioned. Did you know that? That's fucking hilarious.
Who
feel like-
doesn't want to, like, come on, it's
He's
a
so bad.
truck with two legs.
He's so good. Do you ever see?
He's not
Bob
so
Sapp?
He's
good.
not good.
He's
What?
not good. Don't.
No. I just mean like great to watch. Like you don't
Oh,
want to.
it's
That's what I'm
great.
saying.
It's
Who
a
doesn't want to
spectacle.
watch
When
that?
you
That's-
watch him,
yeah.
my big Bob Sapp moment was, I forget the exact fight. You guys will know, but like
When he falls down and he doesn't have a ground game.
Yeah,
That-
sounds
no,
like
when
every
he
fight.
throws the fight, he throws it. Like someone attacks him, and it was like, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm out." You're like, "You're not out. You're not
Yeah.
even trying."
Now, sometimes Bob Sapp on the record has said that he went out to fight for real, and like as he gets out there, they tell him it's a work. As the bell's going, they're like, "By the way, this is a work. It's,
Like,
20 minutes in."
Did you not let me know like
20
40
seconds.
minutes before this?
Yeah, they're like 40 seconds in.
You can't hate Bob Sapp.
What do you? No.
He's trapped in Japan and he's trying to make some money. Come on.
No, I don't knock the hustle. I'm just saying I don't. I don't like people that throw fights.
You don't think if I flew to Japan and they were like, "Yeah, you're fighting roided up dudes. Take a dive." I'd just be like, "Okay, Like, so you want me to put like flair into this? You want me to throw my legs when it...
How hard do I have to sell it?
Yeah.
That's really the question, right?
But he doesn't
You want
sell
me
it
to, like,
well
do
either. That's the
wings or-
Who
problem.
did we have on that was like hanging with him? We had
I don't know.
Jason Day was talking a bit about him.
Oh, the Doomy.
But we also had Kenny Lush talking about him because Kenny Lush is a great wrestler, and he was talking
Maybe
about
we should
wrestling.
give Bob
Allegedly.
Sapp some fucking tips.
No, I'm joking.
Dude, he was on some tour in Japan, and Bob Sapp was riding with him. I'm pretty sure, but there's like a lot of, or was it El Fantasmo? I can't remember who the fuck we had on, but we had a couple pro wrestlers on, and they've given us some of the business on it. It's really funny. But Bob Sapp, my first time I ever watched him fight, do you remember when he fought, what's that dude with one name? It's like one name. He has like a bunch of tattoos now. No. He's got like a bunch of tats. I can't fucking remember his name right now. Holy shit.
Brown eyes, bunch of tats. He's probably bald.
He looks he almost looks neo-Nazi.
Oh,
he's
you
like,
just described like
yeah,
a lot of them.
Hold on though. In Pride though, he's like a guy. He's like a guy. He's fought Crow Cop. He's fought
Matt Sarah.
Oh, is he like a tax collector?
Like a gimmick?
He's like a no.
It's funny
He's
to
like
say
a
that
debt
though.
collector. He's like he fought Crow Cop.
He's also fought Crow Cop. I'm sure he's fought Nogueira.
Someone at home is just shouting.
Yeah.
At
No
them.
shit. Can you just look at Bob Sapp's record really quick? This should be interesting, just in itself. Just Bob Sapp's record.
Series
Never
of
seen that
terrifying
much red in
losses.
his name.
Please,
Ooh.
Bob Sapp's record. Do you know what though? Honestly, his name, it's
The
like,
Beast.
It's like a short. He's 375.
Let's
shoot.
watch my
He's
search
a
here.
375 shoot. Bob Sapp. Now, how many losses in a row? Oh my God!
Jesus Christ! You know
Okay,
what?
can
I'm
the
just
fans
happy
see- okay.
Bob Sapp has won the fight against his heart.
Can viewers see this? Listeners? See
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
So look, can we just look at this for a sec? Holy shit! His last win was
Poor
against
Sasha, hey?
Sasha one pull it. For
Is that a chick
Dude,
or is that a guy? Can we confirm?
So rude.
sounds Russian. Sasha.
Sasha.
Okay,
Sergey.
wait. So let's see here. Can we go up a little bit because
Nogueira. Yeah.
yeah,
Go
he
ahead.
did fight Nogueira.
Yeah.
Okay.
He dropped Nogueira on his goddamn head, and then
Yeah.
Look at this
Nogueira
one. This is a crazy
armbarred
name,
him.
by the way.
That was when he was like still going, I think, for it. Like when there's a point there where it
These
was
are
like
finishes, by the way.
look at this. Okay, from
Assuming the fight
Kim-
is legit.
from Min-Soo Kim all the way to Bobby Olegum is like a range of what year? That's 2004 to 2006 or something like that. There's a few years there where everyone's like, oh my God, he might be the real deal. And then it just
He fought a
fell
Gracie?
off. What? He fought Holds Gracie? Pull that up.
I mean,
One
it's
F's-
going to bring up the name, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
This had to be a work for sure. There's no way that dude, he's 249 fighting 3 Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay.
Anyway.
hold on. Let me just look at these names really quick here. I'll tell you for sure. Yeah, and he fought Emelianenko Jr. there. I might say junior, but I don't mean son. I mean, his
Yeah, I
brother,
get it.
obviously.
Yeah.
FC in the building. All right, go down a little bit. Go down. These are all his fights?
Well, I mean, according to this site, yeah. Look at this face.
It's got to be. Hold on.
Who are we looking for
Go to
here?
his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Oh, this is super entertaining for people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, super.
People that are trying to figure it out. I'll tell you what, though. Bob Sapp, if you just want to Google him right now, just look at this guy, okay? We're talking about like a guy who,
So,
on paper, this is the guy.
If you don't know what Bob Sapp looks like, take the
Giant
Michelin
man.
Man,
yeah.
turn him African American, and then inflate him more.
What do we have here? Can you find it? I don't know. I'm trying to find his name. It's
And
like,
then give him no ground game.
keep going down a bit there, bro. Oh, yeah, he fought Hongman Choi. That's funny. Keep going
Another
down.
noted.
Keep going down. Kimo.
weird.
Oh, that's who we're talking about. It's Kimo Leopoldo, who actually just changed his name to one where it's Kimo. This is him. This is the guy. Pull this fight up on YouTube real quick. This is definitely on YouTube.
Okay,
This
I'm
was
gonna
the
Walkout
first
sounds
time.
down with the
This was
sickness.
oh my God. This was the first time I ever watched Bob Sapp fight. And it
Who
was.
names their kid Kimo?
Oh, dude. Look at this, first of all. He on paper, this is one of those things where you can tell people like if you're a casual or not. Because if If you put this right here, I'm like, okay, so who's gonna win, right? You look at this.
Kimo looks like a movie villain.
That's what I said. It looks like two G.I. Joes are gonna fight.
That's what I just said. Like, okay, now look at Bob Sapp on the right. Now it looks like who's gonna win? Obviously, Drederick Tatum on the far right, and then you look at like when I said he looks like a allegedly not neo-Nazi. I mean more of a prison variety. Because like just Kimo looks like a motherfucker, man. Like any other fight, Kimo would be the favorite, right? But you look at this, he looks like the end boss. This looks like a final fight, seriously.
Is this Pride?
Oh no!
He looks like TJ Combo from Killer Instinct. That's what he looks like.
Here's what you do: you jog around the ring for 1 round.
Oh my god!
And then you submit him in the second.
How much to let Bob Sapp just full on kick you?
Fucking Bob Sapp is not to be trifled with. Sorry, all the shit I was talking earlier. Don't trifle with Bob Sapp.
No.
Like no question.
No, at the end of the day, Bob, please don't find me.
This is such a crazy fight. So this is a K1 fight. So
is it K1?
Everyone that's watching at home.
Kickboxing then.
Bob Sapp versus Kimo Leopoldo. If you guys want to watch this at home.
Oops, sorry.
Bob Sapp. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but basically,
Bob Sapp's walking like forward like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, dude, he seriously has a Michael Myers like.
But he throws fights.
Oh, of
yeah,
course.
He throws fight allegedly. He throws fights.
But I'm saying that like I don't respect that. I don't like. To me, that diminishes the whole sport. Like, it's already got a lot of work to do.
First of all,
come on.
Okay, just to be clear, there needs to be a very, very distinct line in the sand between MMA in North America and Europe and MMA in Japan.
Yeah.
And any MMA in Asia is unfortunately very.
It's very.
There's because this is true. The noted influence of the Yakuza. Is allegedly is prevalent. Oh, dude, you just staggered him. Kimo just fucking jawed him.
Oh no!
See that?
Jawed him.
Oh my god. Oh, Kimo. Kimo's going for it.
Bob Sapp's in trouble, actually.
You have one chance.
Bob Sapp's in serious trouble.
Bob Sapp's always in trouble.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can you imagine drawing Bob Sapp?
Oh no!
Oh, what? I didn't even see that.
Oh no! You got to get up, sir. You got to get up.
No, he doesn't.
So it's like boxing rules in K1. So there's all types of striking, but you get a standing 8. You're able to get up. Whereas like
so brutal.
Obviously MMA.
Does he have a burning cross on his back?
It's a flame. Yes, I'm on fire for the Lord.
Ooh. It may or may not be on fire. That cross on his back.
Okay,
dude, he just now look at that.
Oh, he just knocked Bob Sapp.
He knocked Bob Sapp down after getting knocked down himself. That's why the first time I watched
Bob
this,
Sapp
I was like,
cannot stand right now.
Well, he's 375.
It's hard to stand in general.
I'm good.
Yeah.
He must have.
I got this.
Seriously, he must have an elephant heart.
Huh?
Like an elephant-sized heart. Like think about the size of his heart. It must be just pumping blood.
Whoa! What
Man, when he goes to a
round.
doctor's appointment, they need to write on a prescription just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop everything.
Too much.
But he reads it as sap.
Drink some water.
just sap. He's like, no problem, boss. Way ahead of you.
Oh, what is this? There's some fucking kerfuffle here.
Yeah, so actually, here's what happened. So they're both super tired.
That is a burning cross, confirmed.
Look at this. Sapp takes one on the jaw, straight left again, elbow face rub. Sapp loses his balance, goes down. He has no equilibrium.
Oh.
Can you imagine
like still a better fight than Woodley versus Wonder Boy.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was a weird move right there.
Fest.
I'm sorry, Wonder Boy and Woodley.
That's the first fight, I can tell you right now, the first championship fight that I've ever been a part of in terms of watching. Where
is this person not the most manager person?
That guy definitely made it rigged.
Come on, man.
Allegedly. All right, you can throw this off. It's okay.
Anyway,
hey, what's up, Bob Sapp?
Hey, that Wonder Boy fight.
What happens in this? Anyway,
he just fell down. It was like, and then they gave it to Kimo. I'm pretty sure Kimo won that fight.
Yeah.
And which would make me go, when will Bob Sapp win? And then I started kept watching.
I wonder Bob Sapp's probably saying the same thing to him.
Yeah. When will I win? Maybe it's
no. He's saying, "Hey, Bob Sapp, when will Bob Sapp win?"
Yeah. What was his loss record in a row? Can we just get
that's
that?
11 and something. 11 and 20
in a row though.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
His Sherdog record said he lost like the last 12 or something.
He has 12 wins and 18 losses.
What do you even do after that, man? Do you just hey, I'm gonna train for this fight?
He has a
Where's
win
the
recently.
quickest Krispy Kreme that I can get.
No, he had a technical decision.
Oh,
That's what it says. Technical. What does that mean? They just gave it to him, basically?
yeah. It's like, dude, you got it.
Yeah, technically, he won by draw.
Yeah.
He couldn't fit the gloves on his hands.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, fair enough. We
Okay.
should probably talk about.
Oh yeah. If you guys out there, I just want to finish one thought. The Wonder Boy Tyron Woodley championship fight, okay, was the only championship fight I've seen as a viewer where everyone in the room left the room and couldn't give a fuck. I've been watching UFC since UFC 1. I've never seen everyone
UFC
leave
1?
the room. I watched UFC 1.
Did you rent it?
I worked at a video store.
Oh.
And they had all the
Kenora.
they had UFC 1 through like 12, 15, something like that. And I had them all, and I had shitty privileges, so I just took advantage of them.
Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
what happened, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? You know what also happened? I met Jay Dhaliwal. And Jay Dhaliwal is a good guy. Let me get you some drinks here, sirs. Sure. Who should have the beer to hand it out? Just the guy who's probably hosting, and maybe I shouldn't be the guy handing out the beer. I'm just saying. God damn it. Here you boys. I met Jay Dhaliwal, as previously mentioned earlier in the show. We kept walking in and out of podcasts and just seeing each other, and then we were introduced by a mutual friend and friend of the show, local wizards of Vancouver Real, Andy and Mike Zaremba, and. Once we started chatting about the new venture you've launched here within the confines of the Float House infrastructure, it's pretty interesting. You're doing Vancouver cryotherapy. And for those of you at home that don't know much about cryotherapy, this is where we go to those talking points. I'm going to throw it over to Jay real quick. What is cryotherapy for those listening at home that don't know?
If you've never heard of it, it sounds like the most ridiculous thing ever.
It does sound a little weird.
It sounds funny, but it's great. Please continue.
You step into a chamber for 3 minutes, and we chill the air down to -145 to -165 Celsius.
Celsius.
Which is like
It's a bunch of negatives.
Was that colder than the moon?
Huh?
It's colder than Mars.
No.
Colder than Mars?
Maybe. I
You
have
need
to
an
look up those
atmosphere at
numbers.
least, right? Yeah. Okay.
Relatively.
Colder than Mars, ladies and gentlemen.
Colder than your
So you're
living
only
room.
in there for 3 minutes, and the reason that you don't freeze to death is because there's no moisture in that air. So there's basically 0% humidity in the air, and then we're also keeping the wind speed in the chamber as close to 0 as possible.
I see.
So you don't get the wind chill factor.
Right. So you're not burning from the
No,
freezing.
No, absolutely not. And so with that, we're just flushing out the inflammation in your body. We're speeding up your base metabolic rate.
Yeah.
And you're getting a big rush of neurotransmitters. So like there's all these effects that like if you look online, I don't want to talk about too many of the talking points where it's just like
No, I was just kidding. There is no talking points.
Yeah,
Jay's super chill and relaxed with this. I just feel like he probably has to answer that question all the fucking time.
yeah,
so.
and it's just like you'll look online and it's like you burn between 500 to 800 calories, you get better skin, you get a big rush of neurotransmitters, you feel like you have
What's that rush of stuff? Norepinephrine?
Yeah, norepinephrine. So yeah, basically that's one of the neurotransmitters and hormones that's really boosted in the body and the mind. So norepinephrine is pretty unique, where it's a hormone in the body, and in the body it basically has to do with vasoconstriction. So your body's reacting to the cold, and then it also
Does it think it's dying? Is that what it is? Like
yes and no. Your body always
it's controlled,
thinks
obviously.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
So it's safe, but at the same time, it's like you're tricking your body into thinking it's like shutting.
Yeah,
it
something
down.
actually is like it thinks the body's like, oh my god, something's really happening. We're never freezing tissue. We're never lowering your core body temperature. All we're doing is just triggering the thermoreceptors in your skin. So your body's like, oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah.
So you get this big flood of norepinephrine, and for a hormone, it also activates brown adipose tissue, which is like it's a good kind of fat that burns normal fat. So
Brown adipose?
brown fat. Brown
fat.
Yeah.
Sounds mildly racist. Can I talk about this?
Yeah. You have my permission.
Can I talk about this? Okay. Brown fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason they call it brown fat is because if you look at it under a microscope, it looks brown, and that's because there's so many ribosomes. Ribosomes are basically like the Duracells of the cell. They're the power plants of the cell.
I see. Okay.
Right? And so those guys, your body figures out pretty fast that, hey, shivering is not the greatest use of our energy to warm up. So it activates this brown adipose tissue that basically takes white adipose tissue or white fat, takes this really high energy molecule and uses it for heat production.
Wow.
Yeah.
So someone who's like really warm all the time might have a larger amount of that content.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense because I'm always fucking warm.
Yeah.
You're a sweater.
I'm a sweat. Oh, dude, I sweat in the dead of winter. All
Yeah,
the time,
you can activate it in different ways, right? And traditionally, like cold exposure has been the big way, and like cryotherapy is basically the most efficient way to do it. Where, you know, cold showers, yeah, maybe a little bit. Ice baths,
baths.
Sure. You'll probably get some activation, but when it comes to cryotherapy, because we're hitting these ridiculous temperatures, we just activate it way faster than anything else.
Damn. Can you show ice bath really quick, just so we can have an alternative to what we're talking? Could go. You know who just did a crazy ice bath? I saw it was Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, current interim lightweight champion.
Oh, they're brutal, man. I did ice baths every single day for 2 months.
Oh,
that seems like way too many times.
Dude,
yeah.
You have no idea.
But I was broken. I didn't have access to anything else.
Look at this.
Right? Jesus.
He just climbs in. Go back. It's just, you got to see how he climbs in. So guys, this is a tub full of ice to the brim, and he just goes to your neck. Have you guys ever even just accidentally turned the water cold during a shower? Like, look at this, and it's all mental. And he's just hanging. And what this does is this assists with weight cutting, right?
Wait, not really. It's really like for an ice bath in a traditional sense, it's about really numbing the pain and decreasing inflation. So you're trying to speed up your recovery time.
Oh, so this is the norepinephrine.
Okay, there's some cute Frenchies here too, by the way.
Couple puppos.
Yeah, quick puppers.
Couple puppers. That's crazy though. Look at Tony Ferguson. Now look at this.
You need to stay in the thing that people mistake about ice baths too is you need to stay in there for at least 15 minutes to get full anti-inflammatory effects going on systemically. So you can't just jump in there and be like, I'm numb, I can't feel anything. It's done its work and jump out. No, you need to stay in there.
Because it has to like fix itself. So we're talking about 15 minutes of like probably some of the most uncomfortable human conditions you can put yourself in. Very crazy.
There's a video of Krokop crying in an ice bath.
This is a Croatian kickboxing master crying.
Special ops.
Okay? Special ops. Who like on the side is a politician slash
is there
like anti-terrorist fighter.
I just have to say like cryotherapy, crying. Is there a joke there?
Oh yeah.
No one's ever made that joke before.
No, I didn't think so.
Quick cry sesh, bud. I gotta say, so the alternative to what we just watched though is that like you can step into a very comfortable round cylinder for 3 minutes tops.
Yeah. It gets cold, man.
It gets really
I'm not gonna lie, but the number one reaction I get from people the first time that they step in, and I see like 80-year-olds, is like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
It's so much nicer than I was. So like when you were like, hey, come in and try it today, I was like, okay. Dude, I psyched myself up to the point where I was like, holy fuck, I like called my mom.
Going to war. Going to war.
Yeah, you are kind of at like, so I'm kind of curious in the sense that like, so you're in control of the machine.
Yeah,
right.
They're the entire
exactly.
time talking to you.
Yeah, totally.
Right? And
but like, if something, like, if you went away, like,
which I would never do.
Yeah, of course not. But like, is that like, does it auto turn off, or how does that work?
So it
like,
automatically shuts off and vents the air after 3 minutes. Right?
Okay. So it's like a.
By the way, C-Mart, we are showcasing this.
I know. I'm just wondering. I think it's a reasonable question.
No, absolutely.
What other
unsafe
stuff?
What if you fell over and like
if you
couldn't?
fell over, like let's say you decide to hold your breath and you fall over and you pass out, right? The door's magnetic, so like if you even do fall out, you open the door.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's so easy.
Totally, and I wasn't trying to be negative.
I'm just breaking your balls. Everybody, here's what I'm saying though. It's so easy that when I went to go do it, Jay and I just talked about DC Comics like Mr. Freeze. And all I said was, I was like, this is just like Mr. Freeze. And like Jay knew the origin story. And I was like, okay, here we fucking go.
Yeah.
He's like, Nora, I'm waiting for your curse.
My precious Nora.
Nora. Another one for you, Batman. I'm just like, dude, every time we talked about it, like by the time we was ready to come out, I was like, it's over? It's already? I thought, and then I walked out charged up.
Yeah, you were psyched.
Good.
Yeah.
Dude, I came in here like on fire.
The other thing is like you don't have to warm up after. People come in and they're like, am I gonna be cold the rest of the day? Do I have to worry about like sipping tea and doing all this stuff? And it's like
I was sweating, putting my clothes on.
You step back
Classic
out.
MD.
You step back out and all the blood rushes back from your core, and you just you feel way warmer. And because your body's pretty smart, it senses like we were cold, we are going to be cold again, and it steps up your base metabolic rate,
which is so good. Honestly, and like doing it consistently gives you so much more of a better return on it, right?
Yeah, I see the high performing athletes. Like I see the Canucks, I see like pro MMA guys.
Let's name drop a little bit. Who's coming through here? Who's coming through? A lot of people, a lot of professional athletes.
Norma.
Nora. Teams and organizations are coming through, and also actors.
There you go.
But I'm out of respect.
Is there?
Hey, I'm here to set you up, so you don't have to say it. But I'll just say like it's a pretty friendly folks.
Are there other services in town that also do this, or are you kind of?
No, we're kind of the only game in town,
which is
that's
good.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Man, originally I got into this. I do a lot of jiu-jitsu and MMA, like just for fun, but like I've been doing it for a number of years, and I became friends with a lot of pro fighters, and you help them out as much as you can.
Yeah.
And I've got a medical background, and so I'm always trying to push the envelope. And so when that came to training, that led to a lot of injuries. And so I was like, okay, how can I get back faster?
Yeah.
And so I found this. I had tried everything, and I found this, and I was like, this is great. But at the end of the day, it's about helping guys that were really like their livelihood depended on it. Because if I get injured, it's annoying. I can't train. I go a little stir crazy. Those guys get injured, they're out of a paycheck.
Livelihood.
Yeah. And so that's why I see it. Like I see stunt guys. I see all sorts of people, even construction workers, right? But now the majority of people that I see are just normal people that they're dealing with. Like, hey, I'm sitting at a desk all day.
I was going to ask you about that, actually.
Yeah, and it just builds up. Like that chronic inflammation, that's a huge problem nowadays. It just leads to premature aging, and it leads to a lot of chronic diseases.
The one thing I wanted to ask, so I have a person I work with that has carpal tunnel.
This is about C-Mart.
No, it's not me. But there's someone at work that has he has a weird hand issue.
Yeah.
He's a programmer. He has carpal tunnel in one of his hands or whatever.
Yeah.
And it kind of fucks him up a bit. And I was like, because you mentioned before about inflammation.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, have you observed, is that helpful? Like
where the rubber met the road when I was getting into this, I'm like, this works for me. This works for my friends. But then we started to see people with rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. Where it's just like, you can physically see it in their joints.
Wow.
And so when we designed specific treatment protocols for them, and it's basically they're coming back even after one or two sessions, and they're like, listen, I'm not waking up as stiff. And then as they progress, you basically see you'll get these inflammatory nodules on your joints.
That's right, yeah.
And you'll see them literally shrink, and you'll see people's range of motion go up. And it's just like, dude, come on, you can't.
So cool.
You can't argue with those kinds of results,
for sure,
right?
That's so cool, man.
And so, like the big pushback from it is like it's completely unfamiliar to people in North America.
So this is what people would say if that are not on board yet.
Man, and I wasn't on board when I first heard about it. Like all these benefits, I'm like, how can one thing do all of this? And the answer is it doesn't. It doesn't do all those things. It's your body responding to this positive stress. It's a hormetic stress.
I like that. Positive stress. hormetic.
That's an MD thing.
So,
positive stress.
Positive stress. So, how'd you know the name of the next
Super
album?
MD thing.
How did you know my next album? Positive stress. I didn't know.
Positive stress, man. Well,
Shout out to Quasi.
Man. It's all about like we don't have to work out anymore. Like, we're not running from tigers. We're not chopping down trees by hand
I don't like
anymore.
working out, so I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But it's there's like, hey, what are the benefits of working out? Okay, what aren't the benefits of working out? And it's like now we're starting to get more privy to other positive stresses like intermittent fasting, and so and now cold exposure is the other big one where it's like, how can we activate this positive stress in the most effective way possible, in the fastest way possible, and in the safest way possible, in the most comfortable way possible. And it's like, you could move to the Yukon, or
could be homeless and live outside,
or you can go ahead and check out VancouverCryotherapy.com, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
that's honestly like I can't tell you this enough. Trying it has like completely opened my eyes to it. The first time I ever saw it was Chad Mendez from Team Alpha Male.
Yeah.
He was an MMA fighter. I saw Chad Mendez use it, and I thought, what the fuck is he doing? I thought it was very gimmicky. And then I saw...
they're super gimmicky.
There is some sort of like fat cutting like treatment, which I think that cryotherapy has a tough time in this way, in the sense that it's got to fight a whole bunch of other
that stuff
shit.
though, like you're talking about like laser, like
I know,
laser your
but,
fat away.
but I'm just saying that like I'm sure it's at odds, right?
The thing is, like, I have a scientific approach to this. I'm not gonna make claims like, man, some places will say like it helps grow hair. I'm like, bullshit. Bullshit, it does.
What? Does it say that?
Doesn't it? Does it not though?
No, it doesn't.
Did you have to be head submerged for that to have an effect?
I don't know, man. It's just
it only grows hair from the
like,
neck down.
I get what you guys are you're trying to bring more people in, but like like the effects are
those guys
significant enough. You don't need to sell.
There's already a lot of lies.
When people lie about stuff. It's so new in the market. Like that's the idea. Like the idea that truth should reign supreme right now around it. The marketing around it should never give way to anything other than the truth at this moment.
And man, there's benefits to it that I don't even list on the website. I don't even talk about, and I just let you discover on your own. Cause I'm like,
that's the best way, man.
I'm like, hey, let's see how you feel, and people will come back to me and say like, such and such happened to me. I'm like, yep, that's super common.
My next day, I went around talking to people. I was like, dude, I haven't slept this well in like a year.
That's one of the things, man.
Right there.
We don't mention that,
right
but it's just like the sleeping thing is huge.
It felt so good when my head hit the pillow, and I was like, it's such a very weird, like almost oxymoron contrast, but I was so charged up.
Yeah.
But then like going to sleep, dead to sleep.
Yeah,
and then I woke up right where I left off. I felt so good, and I don't know. I was just excited about it, right? Like
man. Yeah. Like there's so much. Like I could talk about this all day. Like I love the science behind it, and it's
what we had you on, bro. I didn't want to talk about it.
It's just.
So how did you fully like get into this? Like what's your background and what's like why?
So I went to medical school for about 4 years, and then I decided it wasn't for me after 4 years.
To be a doctor? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I was being stubborn, and basically I came to the realization that I was undergoing some difficulties when it came to like lifestyle.
Okay.
And so I went in with the attitude of, like as a medical student, you're gonna face these hardships, but they go away after school, right? Become a doctor, it's all good. But as I progressed more and more, I started to talk to chief residents and heads of departments, and they're like,
how many times did they roll their eyes? Yeah.
They're like, oh, those problems? Yeah, we have those problems, but they're worse.
That's the move.
They're way
That's
worse.
the move.
And
totally
I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I like there's other things I want to do now. Like I went in with the attitude. I didn't go in with the right attitude. I'll admit that the right way, where it wasn't about money or anything like that, but it was about like, this is super challenging, this is super fascinating, I loved it, but it was like, it'd be nice to be a doctor, which like if there's younger people listening to this, that's not the attitude you should go into medical school with.
Right.
You should go into medical school with the attitude of, I have to be a doctor.
I have to be. Yeah.
I have to.
That's interesting.
My sister's a doctor. She's gone through it all, and the amount of stuff that she's gone through. She's in residency right now. She's pulling 28-hour shifts.
Jesus
28-hour
Christ.
on call for 28
That's longer than
hours.
a day, by the way.
And it's just like, what? And so I know, like, if it was like, it'd be nice to be a doctor. Yeah, no, you have to have it in your soul. There has to be something. Just like crazy. Fighters.
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
has to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why are you exposing yourself to, at the end of the day, fighters have it really hard. It's like head trauma. Yeah. You don't get paid as much.
By the way, that
crazy camps.
That sound you hear right now is Jay's parents beaming with pride.
They were ecstatic.
They
were ecstatic when
happy.
I heard. Yeah. Man, my sister say, I'm like, the family's got one doctor. I'm good.
It's enough.
I'm good.
Dude,
I'm tapping out. Well, jiu-jitsu helped me with that a lot, too. My parents don't know this.
Okay, well, how long have you been rolling?
3 years?
Okay.
3 years? 3.5 years?
3.5 years.
I went in, I joined a gym called MMA University in Calgary. And, I just went in and was like, okay, just looking at it from like an objective point of view. Okay, who's in the greatest shape? Fighters. Fighters are in the greatest shape. So I'm like, okay, let's go do some strength and conditioning with these guys. So I just went in for some strength and conditioning. And then I'm like, I'm getting kind of bored of this. I saw the Muay Thai class and I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Started doing the Muay Thai class. And then I saw Jiu-Jitsu and I was like, whoa, what's that? I want to try that. And now I almost exclusively do Jiu-Jitsu, some wrestling, and it's, man, I've been hooked ever since. And that's
just when you started growing your hair?
Huh?
Were you like, fuck it. Jiu-jitsu guys have long hair. And so do I. I don't give a shit.
That's, man, when I started to roll, I was getting my ass kicked. I was just like,
I imagine that's part of the game, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
you just gotta get smashed.
You learn to be humble quite quickly. Mm-hmm. But even when I was getting choked, when I was getting armbarred, when I was getting these injuries, I'm just like, I love this, and I don't have that spark when it comes to studying for my exams. I'm just like,
that's the thing. That's how people. I'm like,
I think there might be a chasm between what like I should be doing and what I really want to do.
Academics are like that though.
There's a bit of a gamemanship to it though, right? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, just having talked to you before, in the sense that I know you like video games.
Yeah,
and I think that there is a certain part of people that like to play.
Well, it's
just to play in general, and like it's attractive, right?
Yeah. Why do you think the Google headquarters have mats there? They have a jiu-jitsu coach on staff. It's because
really,
yeah, like
that guy is like
just choking out.
That guy's
fucking CEOs.
Yeah.
Like,
that guy is
like, you think you're tough? No.
Yeah,
what's that head of Google's name? Sergio or something? Yeah, he's like
white male.
Up. He's eating lobster every day.
Yeah, man.
Choking out.
Yeah, man.
Rich dudes.
The greatest jiu-jitsu gig ever.
No shit.
Ever.
No
kidding. Do some shrimps. Go.
He's wearing a gi with a giant G on the back. Like it's just.
He's the guy. Everyone's challenging this. Okay, that's funny.
You're sponsored by Ruka? That's cute. I'm sponsored by Google.
We'll erase your lost record forever.
Like, that's honestly a weird documentary that I haven't watched that I want to see.
Oh my God.
Is the jiu-jitsu inner circle of like high-tech
Who do you think it is?
finance companies.
Do you think it's like a fourth generation Gracie?
It's always
I don't know,
It's a
man.
nephew.
It's
a nephew. Of
you want the best jiu-jitsu training in the world? You don't go to Brazil anymore. I'm sorry, Brazilians. You don't go to Brazil anymore. You go to San Diego. You go to California.
Is that like
Costa Mesa? No, there's 10th Planet. There's Atos out there. There's a few others, and it's just like Mendez Brothers.
Well, it's only growing, right?
Yeah, and it's just you want the best in the world. You go to California, man.
Do you know who's been tearing it up? A dude from my hometown has been winning every fucking tournament he's been going to. Every fucking one. He like just racking up wins.
Like doesn't matter the game. Just
like doesn't matter. Just any Call of Duty, Jiu-Jitsu,
League of Legends,
LOL. He's lolling it. No, but seriously, man. Cody Poles from my hometown has been killing
shout
it.
out, apparently.
Fucking shout out to Cody Pulls. He was at the EBI Invitational, I believe, or something.
Damn.
I don't want to throw this out there, but why don't you
Allegedly.
Google Cody Pulls real quick? I just want to see if you find
wrestling
anything.
background?
No. Full
No,
jiu-jitsu.
really?
Full jiu-jitsu. I don't
Man,
know if it was the invitation,
remember
but
when
he's been to EBI, a few of them now.
I remember when I used to compete,
It's PULS.
which is
sorry,
like
bro. Yeah, go ahead.
you'd get guys. It's like, this guy's the same rank. How long has he been training? Just a few years. It's fine. He's got a wrestling background. It's like, oh god, oh no.
Here we go.
What am I looking for here?
What's this? That's him and his fiance. Actually, I think they just got married.
Oh, nice. Congrats to
Shout
Cody.
out to Brittany.
Ooh,
Brittany frowns.
Naga.
What is the Naga? Yeah, you recognize these? Like
yeah, man,
yeah, right.
It's legit.
So yeah, this was him with the No-Gi Worlds in 2015.
Ooh, let's see this.
Yeah, let's watch this. Watch this. Throw this up. So that's him on the right. He's the white guy.
He's not the black
He's
guy.
not the black guy. Cody Pulls.
Cody.
He's a beast, though, man. I've gone to high school with Cody, and Cody and I have kept in touch over the years. But he's just a
solid
motherfucker, man. Look at this.
duck
Dude,
under. Oh,
he's so good.
He's got the back. Oh,
I don't even know if he wins this, but
He's out, though. Is that not matter?
no, don't worry about it.
Referee's calling it. Oh,
There we go.
look at-
Back take.
oh,
Beautiful.
hooks in too. Look at
Seatbelt.
kick. Bow.
Wow.
Done. He's a motherfucker, right? Look at this.
That's beautiful, man. Look, duck. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Oh,
Has
guillotine snap
guillotine
down.
standing.
I love that. I love
Drops
that move.
down. He has it. Oh my god, he's such a motherfucker, man. I love Cody, dude. He's so good. I want to get him on the
Shit.
show sometime soon. And when I do, you should come check that out.
Yeah,
That'd be a
man,
good
that-
show. That's good, man. Yeah, but this was a couple years ago. But he's even somehow more beastly than that now. He's like such a huge.
You can get it. You can
Awesome, man.
like jujitsu. It sucks people in, man, and it's like it's so great.
It seems addictive.
It is, man.
Like, it seems like I haven't fucked around with it, but it seems addictive in the sense of like you're just like a challenging another person, and it's a lot of strategy, and then like I don't know, it's cool though.
I got into it, and it really helped. Like I used to be like super nervous, like super high anxiety, and it's just it puts things in perspective. Where it's just like this guy cut me off in traffic, or like I have a big test coming up, and it's like, is a guy physically trying to take your consciousness from you right now?
AKA end your life.
No? Okay, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Your consciousness is such a fragile thing, and you don't understand how fragile until someone has the ability to just snatch it from you.
Oh yeah.
Like once it's gone, like you don't really comprehend how fragile that is.
And it can happen, like it can happen in like the most subtle, tricky ways. You were mentioning the Von Flute choke that's been getting teared up by Owen St. Preux.
That's how I walked out the door last time I saw you.
Yeah.
I was like, by the way, OSP with the rarest fucking choke recently.
So
Holy shit. Can we throw this up real quick? OSP. What's it called again? What was the name of it?
Von Flute choke. So this is the counter of a guillotine. So a guillotine is like basically a headlock. And so what you can do is
This?
That's it, yeah. Sorry, keep explaining.
If guys can see this,
Not yet.
basically, here we'll
This is
pull it
so
up.
rare. Let's flip this over real quick. Oh, fuck off.
Just go to YouTube.
Fox is a cunt. Watch, they'll flag us like last week. God damn, I have so much to say about that.
Always. So, by the way, every time we go to YouTube, we always get this.
Oh yeah, this thing we
Battle of the
reacted to
Nation.
6 or 7 months ago, we reacted to it. Have you ever seen this?
No.
This would
play
be great to
shit.
get everyone's
Fuck the
reaction to
Von
this.
Flute choke. Go.
Okay, just for 1 second.
chaos.
So this is called, what is this? The Battle of Nations.
Battle of Nations.
Yeah.
So
This
this
is
medieval combat. Anyway, it
full on-
always comes up.
All
on this
these guys,
computer.
all these guys seem like super cool
A
guys.
lot of them are into
I'm
MMA.
sure they get laid
to be
all
honest.
the time.
What Kwesi Thomas would say, I bet you none of these guys have ever felt the touch of a woman before. That's what he
It's surprisingly like this is a legit
Just empty
arena.
Stadium.
Yeah, I know.
Empty
No one's
stadium.
This
there.
one in particular is empty, but the one we watched was like full on Coliseum style. It was really crazy, but it's just like MMA with medieval armor.
with weapons.
Yeah, and they fight. Look at this. Yeah, 20
what
on 20.
The hell?
20 on 20.
I would just bring a taser.
All right.
Anyway,
just everybody's wearing metal.
Pull up Von Flute Choke YouTube. We'll see what's
Vince.
Same proof. Okay, there we go.
There you go. Just
first
one
one.
there.
Just butchered that spelling.
Yeah. I'm terrible. Sorry.
All right, pull this up. This is the Von Flute Choke. Okay, now.
Okay.
As I walked out of the building last episode, I was like, by the way, Jay, did you see Ovin's same proof fucking pull this off? Ooh.
He's pulled off 3, and there's only been 5.
How about that? There's only been
bunch.
5, and he's done 3 of them. I want you to watch this highlight. So walk us through this.
I'm going to start doing this from side control now.
Okay, so wait. So this is a pretty rare choke.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, hold on. Show us the fucking choke here.
So what's happening here is basically pause it right there.
Right there.
Okay, back up a little bit.
Just a couple seconds. Yeah.
Okay, so what this guy has is he has a headlock. He has a guillotine. And so what happens is you can go to the ground, and if you have a solid guillotine, you can pull guard, have the guy in the guard lock it up and just yank on it, right? But when the guy transitions to side control, passes your guard,
right there.
We go. He has both of his legs perpendicular to your legs. You can basically bring your arm under his head and lock it up, so you're raising his head, and then you lean your shoulder in, and basically you're putting your entire shoulder on his neck.
Your whole shoulder weight lands on his neck, right?
Yeah, on his neck. And so basically you have this overhook, this crappy guillotine that's not going to do anything, and you're basically exposing your neck, so you get choked out. And it's one of those
so crazy.
It's one of those subtle chokes where you can get choked out with your eyes open. Some refs don't even catch it.
Yeah, because it looks like a dominant position.
Yeah.
For the fighter on the bottom, essentially.
Yeah, and if you've never experienced it, if you've never been caught in it in the gym, it's very possible you won't tap. You won't tap. So it's
look
just
at this.
like,
There's another
look
one.
at this.
Look at
out. He's just out, and his hand's still trapped. Here's the other part. You've got this confidence that it's like, my arm is around his neck. He's not gonna do anything. And it's like, no, he's got you.
Dude, though, but there's only been 5 ever recorded in professional history, and he has 3 of them.
That's a bunch.
That's
a specialty.
Seriously, that's a special move.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's sneaky.
It's like you want to talk about ultimate moves or something like that?
Yeah, this is what we talked about with Huzumar Palhares. So obviously, without a doubt, the knee bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, knee bars.
Knee bars, heel hooks.
Heel hooks. Heel hooks from a Palhares heel hook is like devastating, just legendary, right?
What's the guy that's the suplex guy?
OSP's Von Flute Choke.
OSP's Von Flute Choke. Yeah, that's
me.
You can't sleep on that, or you'll sleep on it.
Yeah, no kidding. Sorry, what were you saying, C-Mart?
I was just saying like the Nurmagomedov, whatever.
Nurmagomedov.
Who's the suplex guy? I think that's different.
Sorry,
the Khabibov.
I'm
saying like he won his first fight via
he's like
insane suplex.
He just suplexed a dude on his head.
Well, he suplexed him like 3 or 4 times in a row, and no one knew what to do because this was not a move that was done.
Yeah,
reminds me of when Rory McDonald fought Nate Diaz.
Yeah,
3 German suplexes in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
It's an unusual string.
There's counters
Benoit.
to that, but like when
now they know. Now people know how to defend against a suplex.
You can basically, if the guy has your back, you can weave your leg into his leg so he can't get the leverage.
Yeah.
And then you can also put a Kimura grip. If the guy has his hands around your waist, you just put a Kimura grip on it. So if you do go flying, you've got a nice secure anchor.
Did you see Anthony Pettis this weekend? His little the fighters were in Anthony Pettis on his back on the ground.
Yeah.
And we had Dustin Poirier standing over him, full like dominant position, standing over him. And Anthony Pettis, instead of like up kicking for the jaw or the knee or something like that,
beautiful foot sweep.
Foot sweep. Hooks his foot behind Poirier's standing like by his back leg, flips it forward. It almost looked like a movie, like a choreographed thing. See if you look that up real quick.
So
Pettis, Poirier.
That's a really slick move. Another great guy at the
Just
sweeps
sweep,
from the
yeah.
ground
Pettis.
is Damian Maia.
Here we
Damian
go.
Maia, you'll just flare your legs out and the guy will trip.
Yeah, it's so crazy though. Damian Maia is
Oh, he
He's
broke my
crazy.
heart.
him
broke my heart,
Him
Damian.
not going to the I don't know that fight though.
The thing is
There's
about
destiny for that
Brazilians.
kid,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna talk a little stuff about Brazilians.
It's
If
okay.
you're Brazilian, I apologize right now. If you break a Brazilian, they're kind of done.
It's
And,
okay. Let's
like-
by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's
My
Jay.
opinion.
Yeah, that's Jay
I love
Dhaliwal.
Brazilian. I do jiu-jitsu.
That's Jay Dhaliwal.
so-
604-778.
5543.
Yeah. Just go to where there's in the preview. You can see in the preview image. You don't have to keep clicking, but just preview. You can see they're standing. There's like a dominant position. You'll see it. It's it's the coolest moment maybe in the. One of the best parts of this fight that just happened between Anthony Pettis and Dustin Poirier was
I don't know where to go, by the way.
Back
Anthony-
back
back a bit. Yeah, it wasn't bleeding yet.
back more.
I don't know
More.
if it's gonna happen here, but basically, Pettis has.
Okay. Leave it there.
Poirier has he has him in
No,
full
this
full
is
ground
back.
and pound, lands one
back,
elbow.
back.
You just saw right there. That elbow opened up 3 cuts on Pettis's face.
Go to the 2-minute mark.
Right here. Just let it run, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
So he lands that ground and pound elbow, boom, right from full guard, and then Pettis sweeps and then gets Poirier in and lands his own. Like that looked like as close to EA Sports UFC 2 as possible. Like you very rarely see such quick dominant shifts and on the ground, especially. It's
Here's the big thing about jiu-jitsu. I love jiu-jitsu, right? And like, hey, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy
that's
at
a
the
nice-
end of the day, right? But the shortcoming of jiu-jitsu is when you're in an MMA fight, you can eat elbows really fast. You can just start eating them, and that'll cut you up really fast. And then, like the slickness of the blood, you can't see, and it's unnerving at the end of the day.
how about Bisping just chewing up GSP and
From bottom,
guard? Yeah,
you could talk about that analysis all day.
Wow.
Where
Like-
Bisping's guard was solid.
unbelievable.
Was solid.
For Wolf Slayer, a training which is not
Wolf
really,
Slayer.
which is the name of like that. Him and Rampage actually both from Wolf Slayer.
Well,
Back in
Bisping's been at the Ruka gym, the RVCA
Yeah.
gym, and so that's where the Mendes brothers
Yes.
are training. That's where Buchecha is training. So he's got the best of the best at his disposal. And so if you can't get a solid guard from there, you're not going to get a solid guard from anywhere.
I was very surprised though to see how quickly he chewed up. Like he landed harder hits on GSP in the ground than I even think during Johnny Hendricks versus GSP. Like those were tough fucking shots, and GSP still eked out the win. You know, like very
GSP.
He's one of the best ever.
ever. No, I think
Like-
I'm gonna say this. I think he is the best ever.
I mean,
I
he's
don't-
the
I don't
best at playing the game.
Well,
And he won that fight. I would have said before.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I would have said
He might have
in
got
the
it.
past, he is the best at just like winning the game of MMA.
He used to just
because he's such a specialist in the sport.
he used to not give up a round.
Yeah,
he didn't
but
give up
then
a
he
round
would
until-
win by decision.
yeah,
which is fine.
Which is
well,
fine.
it's strategy at the end of the day,
Right.
right?
But
For
he
us,
won.
his coach.
But he won that fight.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you guys want to get into the GSP talk now? I'm sure no one's been talking about GSP, especially here in Canada.
Who? What?
Jay has a sip. He's like, let's talk about GSP.
So here's my theory for GSP. GSP comes back at 185.
Okay.
185.
This is what he did. Yeah. This is your theory.
He's 5'10" at 185. He's ginormous.
Jacked.
Yeah, as I like to say.
Supremely jacked.
Jacked.
So
And-
jacked at 185.
And so what it looks like is he's gonna drop down a weight class, and then he's gonna win that title, which against Woodley which is like,
Oh, dude.
please don't get knocked out, GSP.
Oh my God, please. Because the one thing, Tyrone might be boring as fuck, but like, holy shit.
If you lose against Tyrone, it's either gonna be the most boring fight on the planet, or you're going home in a hospital.
I could see GSP outpointing the fuck out of him though.
I think he's gonna go for the takedowns. He's gonna out wrestle him.
He wants to. That's another reason why I think GSP is the best of all time. Is that GSP will consistently fight someone at their game.
Yeah, he's good at the game.
Yeah, he outpoints them. Like, do you guys remember when Koscheck GSP won? Okay, the very first Koscheck GSP won their first fight. That fight was pretty quintessential GSP. But then the second fight, everyone's like, it's going to be a repeat. How could Koscheck ever, this is wrestling base isn't good enough, etc. And then GSP surprised everyone with this fucking crazy Freddie Roach jab out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He broke Josh Koscheck's orbital bone. And people are like, this guy's boring. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? This guy is like, every time I see him fight, he's somehow a better fighter every single time. And then he still is this. 4 years off, 4-year layoff. He still comes back and he's arguably better.
I don't like the I'm gonna retire and then I'm not retired. I don't like that move. I don't like that move.
At the end of the day, GSP is smart. GSP is very smart.
I can't argue with that.
He just said, he's like, how many of these guys are juicing? I'm testing myself. He's testing himself. He was testing himself before USADA.
Yeah, he was doing WADA. He was doing world anti-doping.
I'm not playing this game anymore. Like, what are these monsters? Did you see my face after these fights? No.
And by the way, since then, Johnny Hendricks, who by the way during that fight refused testing.
Ooh, Johnny Hendricks.
Fuck Johnny Hendricks so much. I gotta say, I've never wanted
Johnny Hendricks.
I've never wanted a fighter to fall off the fucking face of the planet harder than him.
Well, he got tuned up. Like,
that guy he fought. By the way, the irony of him fighting.
I know. I'm like,
that guy was. Maybe, I don't want to say to the chest, but to the gills, that guy was on the fucking juice.
Why do you look like a G.I. Joe action figure that got a tan?
I kept telling everyone at the table when we were watching, I was like, this guy looks like he's in a telenovela. Like, he looks like he's a fucking Mexican, like,
and what is up with these new fighters coming out looking handsome as hell?
Oh,
what is this?
Fox came in.
What is this?
Fox came in and they're like, look, we know how to sell the news. It's all sexy white ladies.
Dude,
and
I don't get this.
They're like, look, Fox is like, this is what the plan was.
Oh God! Here we go.
Rupert Murdoch.
This is a hot take right here, by the way.
Don't you mean the MG? Who bought the UFC?
WME.
Disney bought UFC, I think.
Hold on, though. Before any of those guys get in, they wheel in Rupert Murdoch. He's about 122. They wheel him in, and he's like, I know how to sell news. I've been doing it for years. And everyone's like, how do you do it, Rupert? And he's like, blonde white women. And so blonde white women are the primary correspondents on Fox News, right?
Shit.
He knows how to sell it. They bring him a figure sheet because he doesn't know how to use Excel. Excel's like fucking like bringing the wheel to like
stone tablet.
Totally. So they bring him like a scroll, and they say this is how much Fox made and did not make in the last year with this UFC deal. And he's like, what? And they tell him what it is, and he goes, I know how to sell it. And they're like, how do you sell it? They're like, only good-looking fighters from now on. So you see Super Sage Northcutt. He gets a hard push.
He's a good man.
He's a good-looking fella.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
I'll tell you what.
You need to work on your jiu-jitsu, Sage.
Oh, hard.
You need to work on your goddamn jiu-jitsu. And I don't know, like, you need to devote years to that crap.
Mickey Gall made him look silly.
Mickey Gall is my hero.
He
is the hype train derailer.
He got tuned up. He got tuned up.
Did he?
Yeah, he got fucking tuned right up.
Well,
with his mustache too.
He has a special place in my heart because the
CM Punk fight.
CM Punk.
Jesus Christ! How dare you go against straight edge CM Punk? How dare you?
Okay, yeah, you don't know this, but this is a pro wrestling podcast.
Centric podcast. How dare you? Okay.
CM Punk started doing steroids. Like
started. What did he stop?
Just start. No.
Yeah.
Just start doing steroids.
Yeah.
No, this is my advice, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Start doing steroids.
I feel like we should all do steroids.
It should just
fuck it.
Let's do it.
Fuck it.
Wide open, right? If
Everyone else is
New Year's resolution.
If Alistair Overeem can look the way he looked when he fought.
You mean Lord Uberim?
Lord Uberim. When in 2012.
It was horse meat.
Oh my God. When he fought in 2012 though in Dream, and he fought who was that kid that knocked out someone in 8 seconds? Do you remember talking about? He's a heavyweight. He's a kid though. Fuck. Anyway, that kid took the fight with Overeem on 2 weeks' notice, and Overeem clattered his fucking head off
Struve?
Could you imagine? You imagine you go into a tournament and you draw a Balrog? Because that's exactly what the fuck happened, okay? Like, it was like some...
You get the worst possible matchup. You're like, fuck.
You're like, this guy's Bob Sapp. Oh, no, he
shit.
trains in Holland.
Yeah. This guy's Dutch.
Also, I noticed that the Dutch fighters in general, they're meaner.
They're a little more aggressive.
They're more mean.
That whole Golden Glory is like just notorious for their training. Like just...
I always appreciate fighters that kind of skirt the edge of legality, in the sense that
what the heck? Wait.
What I'm saying is that
explain yourself.
Hot take over here.
Foot stomps are legal.
Yeah.
And they are one of the most devastating moves. Like, if you break someone's toes,
good luck foot stomping someone's toes into oblivion.
I'm just saying, if you do that, that's a powerful move, and they're allowed. Small joint manipulation, not allowed.
Yeah.
Foot stomps are allowed, which is basically like brutal force. Small joint manipulation.
By the way, this is
so what I'm saying is that
switch the camera to me. Switch the camera to me real quick.
I love he's directing this so good.
No, what I mean is that it's brutal. It's mean. It's mean, and the Dutch fighters are mean. They will fight you. They will break your fingers. They will break your toes.
That's a hot take.
I'm just saying. They're traditionally, in my experience, a little meaner.
C-Mart, by the way, no less than 20 minutes ago, told us that he didn't think Bob Sapp was good for the sport because he threw fights. Now, if you bend the rules,
there's a difference between throwing a fight and like, winning the fight through some bullshit.
I don't know. Not following the rules is not following the rules.
I will give you my cryotherapy machine. If someone, listen, we're calling the fight with foot stomps to the toes. Just rip up your UFC contract if you tap by that.
I'm just saying,
verbal
it's
tap.
part of
toes.
Verbal tap too, right? They're just like, I'm good.
You don't feel your toes in there, man.
Overeem is notorious for, like, again, the other part is the brutal, like, liver kicks.
Liver kicks are legit.
Boss Rudin.
Totally.
You want to talk about the science of liver kicks?
It shuts your whole system down.
So here's the thing.
I'm saying that's a painful... Some people hurt their opponents. Some people beat their opponents. And I think that Dutch fighters, on average... The goal is to hurt them.
You're trying to achieve a goal, and you can knock someone out with a liver kick, basically. So the liver is located on the right side. It hangs a little bit below your rib cage. Just a little bit, right? It's kind of a defect. And so if you get a nice shin kick that angles up right there, or you get a digging punch not Bob Sapp, but
Rutin.
Boss Rutin. There we go. Boss Rutin like to do. You're basically hitting that organ, and you can rupture it, which is like, that's an extreme case. Boss Rutin ruptured someone's liver once.
Allegedly.
Like split it. That's basically what that means, by the way.
So much.
Split your liver.
When you hit that organ, it's super vulnerable, where you initiate a nervous system cascade that will drop your blood pressure significantly. Weird. When that happens, your body's like, your blood pressure is going down. Hit the ground. Regulate it. Go into a supine position, which is like laying down, to regulate it. So you will go down. Number two, you're hitting a vital organ. One of the largest vital organs.
We need that one.
Yeah. One of the largest vital organs. So you hit that, and your body's like, nah, we're tapping out.
Yeah, like it's so devastating.
You're like, you know what? Painful. I know you want to fight, but honestly, it's over now.
It's so devastating.
And you see that registration that happens, and you're conscious of the pain. It's not like a knockout. A knockout is your head gets rattled, and you don't feel a knockout. You don't get knocked out because you're like, oh, it's so painful. No, you're just like over on off.
Yeah.
A liver kick.
You're in a different spot than when you just remember.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
A liver kick is oh, okay, I'm still conscious up here. You hit it, and it's like, oh dear God.
That's so
I can't
crazy.
be.
Oh dear God.
I can't be horizontal anymore, vertical anymore.
Yeah, this is the worst pain ever, and that's why you'll get guys like what's his face, gigantic WWE guy. I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry, people.
Really tall, current or old school?
WWE.
We're talking Paul White, Big Show. We're talking
Big Show.
Giant Gonzalez. We're talking.
He fought Overeem.
He fought Overeem.
Oh,
WWE.
No, the guy in the US. Oh my goodness, we're idiots.
Oh dear God.
Hold on, wait. You've given me two conflicting
He has a
pieces
giant
of
sword on his
Yeah,
chest.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
Brock
Lesnar. Oh
Jesus.
my
Thank you.
God. Okay,
Thank
hold
you.
on. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
That
I'm
was
sorry,
the
Brock.
worst. That was the worst.
Okay,
Love
Brock
it.
Lesnar.
Sorry, your
that's why
criteria
you
was that he was tall, and I was like, wait, he's not tall. He's fucking Brock Lesnar's a little guy.
So Brock gets that kick.
Yeah,
and
from over him. Yeah,
he takes one step, two step down,
falls
down because it
Cannot
just
be helped.
registers.
That
It registers.
diverticulitis plus liver
That's one of my
shot,
favorite
game
knockouts
over,
ever.
right?
Actually,
Oh,
it's one of my favorite wins.
Ooh. Hey, I think I'm gonna fight. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You're missing a gigantic part of your colon.
Yeah.
You know that thing that processes food, and you need food to fight.
My mom actually beat that disease about 2 years ago, and she's still having complications from it. And every time I talk to her and she has updates on it, I'm always like, Brock fucking Lesnar fought for like 5 years with this, and still was the best at what he was doing. And I was like, could you imagine Super Brock in his prime without diverticulitis? Can you imagine that?
Well, like they had to cut it out because it was literally a part of him dying.
Yeah. They took out 18 fucking inches of my mother's
That's a bunch of
lower
inches.
GI.
That's a bunch of inches.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. And
Yeah, it's
like,
devastating, man.
You can die from that.
Absolutely.
You've got necrotic
Yeah.
tissue in
Absolutely.
your body.
It's one of the most debilitating things that can happen to you.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it is like this guy's a super freak athlete, and he's just like
free.
just crushing at his fucking weight class.
Yeah, whether or not you want to test or whatever, like he's an insane animal.
By the way,
of a creature.
Also popped about.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, well, obviously,
not,
he did.
not a big deal. He's just a jacked white boy, right?
No,
Not
I
a
mean,
big
just
deal.
like
Yeah, it's all corn.
That's what he said, by the way.
all corn.
He's like, I'm a jacked white boy. Deal with it. Pops 2 weeks later. And by the way, the UFC. Here's the
and
best
Mark
part.
Hunt was just like, what?
Yeah, and
What?
And here's why Mark Hunt's suing them is because the UFC knew 6 weeks prior to that comment that he had already popped.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Ooh, bad move, UFC.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't
What
that
did
crazy?
the Golden Snitch have to say about
Allegedly. Just throw a lot of legal claim there.
that? The Golden Snitch is something Nowitzki. Craig Nowitzki?
Or it's Novitz. It's
Nowitzki.
Yeah, but he's the guy. He's the USADA guy,
Yeah.
and he's been seriously cleaning up the sport. He's got to be one of the most interesting people ever. Every time I saw him on Rogan, a couple times now, and he has the most interesting background on that stuff.
He's on a crusade, man.
Dude.
He's on a crusade. He's on a mission. Now, people don't agree with those types of missions, but man, from the UFC standpoint, from an ethical standpoint, man, more power to him.
Very rarely are you afforded the ability to actually affect any significant change on the industry you're working in.
Yeah.
Like real significant change. And I've always heard that the mark of greatness is when everything before you is irrelevant and everything after you bears your mark.
Yeah.
And you'd have to say, I think it's Jeff Nowitzki.
Jeff?
Is it Jeff?
I'm sorry, Nowitzki.
I think it's Jeff.
The Golden Snitch.
What'd you say it was?
Huh?
You say it was Craig?
Craig.
I said it was Jeff. We'll look at something.
Insert white name here, Nowitzki.
But he's like the Zuffa golden boy, essentially. The
We're
golden
just gonna
snitch.
start switching up the names. John Nowitzki.
John Nowitzki. He's a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to brag, but Chuck Nowitzki is a good fucking fella.
Man, Bill Nowitzki has really just
Cleaned it up.
Cleaned it up. But well, from the UFC standpoint, they looked at it, and they built some great stuff, and then they're like, how do we not turn into Pride?
We call Phil Nowitzki, and we and they're like, we're gonna sort this out. This is, nothing like Jake Nowitzki couldn't sort out.
Well,
for
Skylar Nowitzki, just win in there.
The idea though that this guy is actually fixing things is pretty interesting, especially because
it's great.
It actually,
it's great.
If you think about it, it's one of the few things that goes against the money-making nature of the company. And how many fights have been lost because of this,
man, from the money-making nature, it makes sense from a financial standpoint. It makes financial sense. If you have a sport that becomes illegitimate, people won't take you seriously.
It's true. It's absolutely true. It's the reason why the Saitama Super Arena used to sell out 70, 80,000 fucking people in Japan. And now when they bring fights through, it maybe pops 40,000, which is still an insane amount.
No one gives a shit.
But it has lost a lot of its luster because of the involvement of the corruption that was happening.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. That's a fucking undeniable fact.
And you'll get guys in, they're like, man, they should have a separate league where they let guys just do steroids. I'm like, it was called Pride.
That's so funny.
And there was Yakuza involved, and it fell into the ground.
They used to go. This is what Vanderlei used to say. Vanderlei said, apparently, allegedly. Yeah. Vanderlei said allegedly that he would go into fights and just kill, just crush and kill, just to be the fucking the axe murderer that we always watched him fight.
Yeah.
But
he is a killer.
But apparently, what was happening was Yakuza officials or whatever would come in and say, "Listen, you're gonna go in and you're gonna win." And they'll tell his opponent, "You're gonna win, okay? Third round,
it's a fix.
Third round's a fix. You're gonna win." And the guy would be like, "Really?" And then they go in, they'd go and tell Vanderlei the opposite, and they'd be like, "Listen, your opponent in the third round is he's
gonna take a dive.
He's gonna take a dive, right?" So you'd have this fucking moment where the guy would drop his hands or do something silly, and then you see because the guy's not expecting it because he thinks it's a whack. Axe murderer, boom, just kills him, and that's all.
Vanderlei Silva is a dangerous junkyard dog.
God damn, just a motherfucker. Okay, I'll tell you what, man. I love chatting with you.
Yeah, man.
I think we've had a great fucking episode.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming and checking things out.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can already tell right now you are 100%. I almost feel like you should just come in the next crew episode we do and we just chat like this. This was the closest thing we've done to a crew ep in a long time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Anytime you want to come through, Jay. Honestly.
You can talk about video games too. We haven't done that.
Oh,
no, I'm not saying we're not going to.
No, we can talk mega video games.
Jay's big into video games as far as I know.
I really like it. Yeah, get this guy.
I didn't know that.
I'm not joking.
Mining some J coin over here.
I'm launching my new coin. It's called It Doesn't Exist Coin.
Yeah,
it's called Money.
IDE coin. Ladies and gentlemen, though, if you're so inclined, we'd really appreciate it if you drop us a like or a subscribe. If you really like us, you can go ahead and search us for past episodes at intergalacticinterviews.com. You can also find us available on iTunes and Stitcher and YouTube. And SoundCloud, I guess, if you want to find us there. And the reality is, though, that we really appreciate it. If you really like it, leave us a review. That does a lot more for us than anything else.
Yeah, man. It doesn't even take that much effort. That's the thing,
doesn't.
Right?
It doesn't, and it means more to me than a million Christmas presents. How about that? We'll just
a million?
A million. And I've had
Holy fuck, that's a lot of Christmas presents.
I've had maybe 100 in my life. and they're all treasured. So,
yeah. One is a Super Nintendo.
How old are you?
Yes, one was.
Oh wait, okay.
I'm a sharp age. I just want to say.
A sharp
I'm a sharp age.
What does that mean?
That just means I'm about my business, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Jay, if people want to follow you or follow Vancouver Cryotherapy, how can they do so?
It's super complicated. You type
it's a lot of work.
Vancouver Cryotherapy.
That's it.
Yeah.
CRYOTHERAPY.
We're in the shirt.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah. Or at Vancouver Cryotherapy on the Instagrams and the Facebooks.
Smart.
And Van Cryo on the Twitters.
Easy, man. Easy to check it out. We definitely highly recommend it. You guys definitely need to do it.
I gotta try it.
Honestly, C-Mart, you'd fucking love it, bro. Seriously, you'd actually really
if you guys have any questions, it's the main... I love having conversations with people about it. So it's just man, start up a dialogue. And if you want to try it out, try it out.
Yeah.
Just Ask me
honestly,
about the science.
There's no games here, and Jay's super approachable, so I highly recommend it. If you guys are also inclined, please check out our other sponsor on the show if we want to talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, floathouse.ca is where you want to go if you want to check out the premier isolation tank experience in the Lower Mainland. What I like to say is that it is one of the most tranquil, exciting, best ways you can spend 45 to 90 minutes, and it's all purely isolation. It's exactly what you need. It's so relaxing. It allows you to unlock the mysteries of your mind. Or you can just relax and enjoy the tranquility of the blackness and the darkness as you just unwind. And it's so quiet. It's so tranquil. It's very peaceful. I love it because you get your own private shower. You get your own private float tank, obviously. Slippers. You get your own, like it's all fresh, clean towels. Everything's really nice, but most importantly, the knowledgeable staff that comes with every location. And there's like 6 of them now, 6, 7. I don't know how many. Like 6.
It's out of the country now.
Out of the country now. They're doing very well for themselves, and they're expanding because people are catching on to this idea that isolation tank therapy really works. I think, like, if I can just share with you right now, it works for me, and I never thought I would ever be able to ever benefit from something like this, and it's awesome. I float, we float, you should float. Check out floathouse.ca and use our podcast promo code IIPodcast, and that gets you 20% off your next float. Woo! Floathouse.ca. That's where you want to go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening and watching. This has been a really great treat. I fucking love this, man. I love that you debuted so hard on this show. C-Mart, how can people follow you if they're so inclined?
No one would ever do that, so don't.
Excellent. And we're gonna go ahead.
Solid plug.
Let everyone off with a nice little mwah, and we'll see you all next week. Goodbye. Sweet. That turned out awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.